which we were part of. This shows the route we took and everything here. And this was made in Germany too. This is the 4th Cavalry Battalion there. This is one of my grandsons made this for me. It's a scale model of an armored car like we had. And then this is was given to me by the 4th Cavalry. It's a commendation, and it shows all the different, a lot of the different cities and things that we went through in France, Belgium, and Germany. We come in Utah Beach here in Cherbourg, and then this is the way we went clear across over into Germany.
How many miles was that, do you know?
About 2,000 miles. If I remember right, I've got it in some notes up there. The Wyoming National Guard, the 115th Cavalry, horse mechanized. They still had some horses.
Oh, wow.
They had one squadron of horses and one squadron that was mechanized. And they had the headquarters detachment for the mechanized squadron was in Torrington, and that was where I was a member of it
okay.
at the time. February the 24th, 1941. The Wyoming National Guard, the 115th Cavalry, was activated and sent to Fort Lewis, Washington for a year. I was a staff sergeant at that time, and when we went to Washington. They give me a kind of a snow job to get me to go.
Oh, yeah?
They said, we'll make you staff sergeant, and you can save some money, and then I was going to university too, but at that time, you can go save some money and go back to university after a year. And if you got a year in, then you wouldn't be drafted back in that day. They still had to draft.
Okay.
Start the draft then.
Right.
That's what the incentive did to go there. Of course, Pearl Harbor come along February the 7th that year. And that ended the year part of it.
Right.
And we were sent down to patrol the Oregon coast. We moved down there, I think it was on the 9th of December. We were down there for desert training. We got down there in the first part of January. And we loaded out in Rapid City, by the way. It was below zero, and some of the guys got some frostbitten hands and stuff loading out equipment. And a couple of days later we were down in Indio. It was 90 degrees. And we went through desert training there until in August of 43.
Now what was the desert training for? Was there a lot of desert?
Okay, at that time, Rommel was doing his thing over in Africa, and we did have troops over there at that time. And that's where we thought we were headed. But by the time our desert training was over, this was all over with.
Right.
General Patton and of our, you know who Patton was. And then General Montgomery for the British Army. They were down there, and they drove Rommel and his people out of there. That was over with. They went into Sicily, and then there was some fighting on there. So we weren't going to the desert.
After all that training.
And then from the desert training, we moved to Camp Maxey, Texas. That's near Paris, Texas, not too far from Dallas. It's kind of a staging area for us. We were there for till about had to be, let's see, 43. Anyway, from there we were sent to Camp Shanks in New Jersey, being trained there at Dallas, and bunker up there. And this was the area, staging area where we went to go overseas. We were going to the European theater.
So when you found out that you were going to the open theater, what was that like?
Well, I thought maybe that would be better than going to the South Pacific.
Why so?
Oh, I don't know. Just conditions and things that you'd have to live through and stuff. From Camp Shanks, we sailed out of there on a British ship, the Highland Chieftain. We went up to the North Atlantic to avoid subpacks, German subpacks. It was on the water about 14 days when we arrived in England. We arrived in England the first part of December of '43. We went in at Portsmouth. And our first place we were stationed there was on the Goodwood Estate. There's the Goodwood racetrack there too that's quite well known there in England. And there's where we received our equipment. It was all brand new, everything, the armored cars, all of our equipment. And we spent time coming from it. It was that the armored cars that we received there were different than what we had here in the States.
What was different about them?
Well, more modern.
Oh, right.
It's just like the one that's downstairs there.
Yeah, okay.
And then we had training in a lot of the other equipment we had, like bazookas we never had before, and things like this. And kind of a humorous sidetrack here. We got there in December, and the leading down, I guess, on this estate to what I'd call the mansion or something was this road, and here's all these Quonset's hut they'd built along facing this road for the men. The officers, we got to stay down in the big house. And we the only thing they had for heat in those Quonset huts was a little stove that they put some coal in, and the ration was very meager.
Yeah.
And some of these young men from the west here, was in a real heavily wooded area, nice, beautiful wooded area there. He said, we'll take care of that. So they went out and cut down some of the trees for firewood. And a few days later, here was the bobbies out there. We didn't do that. They didn't do that anymore.
Right.
But we went and did a lot of training there and prepared for the invasion. We even had some practice on beach landings and things like that on the English coast, preparing for that.
Does that, for being an officer and leading men through this like completely new thing, what is that like? Is that like a huge responsibility for you?
Yes, it is. A huge responsibility.
How did you deal with that? Like, how did you?
Just one day at a time.
Right.
And we then were sent up. Part of the, I'll get back. One platoon of Troop B, I was with Troop B of the 4th Cavalry. The 3rd platoon of Troop B was selected to make the D-Day landing on Utah Beach. And the rest of us were to go in on D+1. We didn't get in there till I think it was D+2 due to the jam up of getting people onto the beaches and everything. And this platoon, by the way, this might be of interest to you, was commanded by First Lieutenant Gerald Denley, who was from Casper, Wyoming.
I'm sorry, can you say his last name again?
Huh?
Can you say his name again?
Gerald Gerald, and then Penley, Penely.
Okay.
And the rest of us went up, I mentioned, up to the Duke of Wales estate, and there we were issued our combat load of ammunition and everything. And this is a beautiful place where we was out on this table. We just camped out there.
Yeah.
And there's this beautiful stream running through this
Yeah.
place, and you look down and you see all these fish swimming in the thing. And without the officer's knowledge, some of the men decided, well, we'll get some of those fish. Well, part of the munitions, all the ammunition, there were some concussion grenades in there. So they fished with some concussion grenades and got fish. But we didn't get in trouble over it, and I guess nobody knew about it. That's another kind of a humorous thing. But we loaded on a ship there with called a tank transport with all of our equipment and everything, and it was Bristol, I think, is where it was. And actually, this Duke of Estate was near a little town called Abergavenny, a little city, Wales.
Mm-hmm.
And then we sailed for Utah Beach, and now getting back to Jerry, he did make the D-Day landing, and he linked up with the 82nd Airborne, and they're around St. Mary-Glise in France. And while he was there, he was assigned to by the 82nd Airborne to check out a road. He wanted to find out about it, see if there was could be any contact with the enemy. And while they were going down this road, they encountered a bunch of German infantry. They were walking along both sides of the road, and they went down through this. Of course, the Germans started action on them. They went down through there with firing with on the armored cars. They have a 50 caliber machine gun on a ring mount, and they went down there firing it. And they killed. We're never sure how many it was, but quite a large number of German infantry there. And of course, the 82nd Airborne was very pleased with this, and luckily they had no casualties either.
Wow.
And I found out about this later. I wrote up wrote it up and recommended a Silver Star for Jerry, which he received. He and I are very close friends, both being from Wyoming.
Were you friends during the war or after? Like, did you know him before and everything?
During the war.
During. Like, I mean, before he...
Jerry, I'm not sure. He joined the 4th Cavalry after I did, and I don't know. I don't think he was with the 115th as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
And I think he did go through Officers Candidate School somewhere, but this is all I know.
What's it like to be able to write a Silver Star recommendation like that?
He did receive the Silver Star, by the way.
I mean, was it neat for you to be able to write that? I mean, was that neat?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it was. Jerry's a great guy. But sad to say, he was killed in Belgium later on.
Did he get the Silver Star before he died, or?
Yeah, he got the Silver Star, and he also got a Purple Heart. He was slightly wounded in this this maneuver.